Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2, which you're now bearing witness to our huge East Coast powerhouse right now. We've spent the last few episodes really bulking this area up right now, and the main thing we were doing is switching over the machine's production, and we've kind of got it pretty much all finalized. It's now working wonders. But the only thing that we really need to do is to supply it with more goods to make it produce a lot more. We need more steel over here right now. But it's pretty much now providing the machines for Boston, New York, and even Washington. The only city on the East Coast that had machines coming from our other plant was Charlotte. And that's the only one right now that's having the goods being brought over to it. But we're ready to take our kind of next steps, moving on to our next progression. Now, if you guys are enjoying this series and want to see more, then make sure you smash that like button down below. If you are new in here, make sure you do subscribe so you get notified when more episodes do come out. But right now, this machine plant over here, the original one, it's only really taking the machines to Pittsburgh, which then takes them all the way down to Savannah. Now, a few things we got to do then. We got to provide more steel for this plant so we can eventually put more cities on the circuit. But also we need to start making this machine plant over here supply the cities around it. Is the whole reason why we moved it over. Meaning we need to up the import of wood and the steel, which look pretty okay to me. But we need to throw more on. And then maybe we can take a look towards expanding over to the West Coast again. So, guys, subscribe if you do. Like if you're enjoying. Let's start to rock and roll. So last episode we also tried to upgrade a lot of our kind of current vehicles to electric. All of our road vehicles are electric, and we slowly got about, I want to say about 40% of our trains are now electric as well. We're going to slowly keep progressing and adding on that as we go along. And I also want to start thinking about bringing the trains down to Texas as well and linking up a couple of lines. It's going to be expensive, guys, but these expansions are going to be well worth it. Right, let's do the little bit of maintenance we need to do first then. So this machine plant needs more steel. Currently, it has steel coming from Pittsburgh over here. Now, the only problem we've got is the current route that we're using to pick up the steel. Also, it's called our steel and wood route. It kind of picks up steel, drops it off in Boston. Then it goes and picks up the planks of wood here, drops it back off, and then goes and gets the steel again. I need to split this line into two, basically. I need to split it into two, right, because it's taken too long to then cycle back to get the steel again. So this is what we need to kind of split right now and kind of divide. So we're going to manage the line, and it goes from Pittsburgh to Boston, right, then it goes to Boston MA East, which means to cancel that, and then cancel this one. So that is all the route is going to do. It's going to go to Pittsburgh, pick up the steel. It will then come to Boston, unload the steel. That's literally all I wanted to do. I've got two trains on there, which now might be a little bit too much. And we'll now rename that from steel to wood, just to simple steel Boston. Meaning I need a new line that will pick up the goods here and drop them off here. And that only needs to be a simple and small train because of how often that delivery is going to come in. It doesn't need to be anything too big or too crazy. I can almost do it with vehicles, but we're going to stick with trains anyway. It should be fine. So in Boston East here, all it is going to simply do is load the planks. And then in Boston Annex is then going to simply unload the planks. That's all I need it to actually do. So we're going to train for this, which will go electric, boys. And then the cargo, it's taking the plant, so it needs the flat side ones here. I think a 60 capacity would be fine because it's going to be coming that often and that quick. Anything too big, I'm going to be then losing money as time goes on. If it's not enough, we will then eventually change it. But line one, bam, it's placed on. So that then, flipping that round, should mean that we get more steel more often. Only time will tell. And then obviously the steel's coming from over here, which we need to make sure that this has always got its goods as well. Now the problem we had last episode is it wasn't delivering enough coal. We did since change and upgrade how much coal comes in. We kind of also bringing it from over here, which this is starting to kind of fill up, but not enough, believe it or not. Not enough as you were kind of expecting. So it could be a case of where I need to add a few additional trains on this. There's a train now fully loading up, which will bring a load of coal back. So how much has it got? It's got 18. It's going to go without again. So let me take a look at the current line. which is our coal route here, which goes to multiple... It does go to multiple destinations, so it might be a case of where I need to maybe add 2 more trains on, just so it's coming in a lot more quickly and frequently, and we're just basically producing a whole lot more. That's now starting to build up as well. There's so much going to Chicago, it's unreal, considering the demands we've got. But it is a longer journey, so it does build up, and there's only really 1 train on it as well. So that should hopefully produce or kind of give us a lot more coal. Some coal is just now being delivered. Amazing. Is this some more coal here being delivered? Yep. Another bunch of coal coming back in again. Nice. Is this some more coal coming in? No, I believe that was the ore, wasn't it? Wait, who are you? No, you're delivering coal as well. So we are getting coal coming in. There's just so much of it, but now it's starting to level up, so it will start producing more, then it will kind of then start demanding more. So in reality, you can never really win. You can never really win, but there's so much over here waiting for it. We should see lots of it coming back in again. This is going to pick up a load of coal as well. Apparently it's got 1 on board. I have no idea why. But picks up a load, 200, and then takes it all the way back. So no coal at the moment. That's got a load of... What's that train doing there? Oh, sorry, this is my new train. It's just come in from the train depot, hasn't it? Yeah. I was wondering for a second there. You're not bringing any coal in right now, are you? Right, dropping off a load of coal. And it just instantly gets sucked up straight away. It's crazy how quick it disappears. It really is. But yeah, that will do what it needs to do anyway. And hopefully we can find a nice little even balance. And it just means it just keeps producing even more steel for Boston. So it can only really be a good thing, right? Which then means it produces more machines and we just make more money in general. So we'll let that route do a couple of cycles right now, just go through what it needs to do. But we'll try and take a look at trying to get more stuff set up over here. So over here then, this is pretty much as even as you're going to get it. The machine over here, it needs more wood compared to the steel. So this is the opposite problem we got over here. So we do have coming into Pittsburgh here, where we kind of produce the wood. Now for the wood route, we have 2 of them. They are quite older trains on them. So if I grab both of these wood routes that go to Pittsburgh, so scrolling right down, both of these. Actually, let me manage the vehicle side of it instead. So both. Wait, have I got something else selected? I do, don't I? Yeah. So these are my wood routes here. If I replace both of the all 4 of these trains on here, so I go for electric, which means I might need to upgrade some train tracks. Electric, and then cargo, the side stakes, which does the wood and the planks. And they had 10 on before, so we'll put this up to a 200 capacity. So probably only carry the same amount, but the difference is... No, these are the new ones, so they'll actually carry a lot more, but they'll also be a lot quicker as well. So no electric path, so we got to pause for a quick hot min. Tools, electrify. So where's not electric? Ah, okay, I see. Right, this is... See, now we've just updated 2 new routes of electric trains. Slowly but surely, boys, we're making a huge difference. The economical factor. Greta Thunberg is going to love me. Doing your boys' bit for the environment. Right, get all this in. Now, I don't know if it's all high speed or not. What's not electric here? Oh, that one there. I don't know if it's all high speed or not. We'll have to make sure that it is, so these trains can truly go to their true speed. Also, somebody said as well, Nick, you need to upgrade your bridges because they're still stuck to 50 miles an hour. I think it's my old-fashioned bridges that I created going across the rivers, which we need to kind of check out. Right, that sorts out all the electric, but is it high speed? No, it's not. Okay. So you're going to make sure it's high speed to get take full advantage of these trains. So actually I can put it back into play mode right now. They will use it, but obviously they won't go to their full speed on a normal train track. So this is the only downside of when you build a fully fledged rail network before the ability to have electric trains. Right, it's always difficult. It's always difficult to do the old crisscross here without accidentally then unhooking a previously created one. Right, all this is now, fingers crossed, done. Okay, maybe not. There's a lot more than you expect. Wow, there is a lot more than you expect, isn't there? Just goes to show how old these train tracks truly are. So, all high speed now around this area to where we're utilising it. So we should see a huge difference then when it comes to the wood imports. Especially for this system anyway. Which will increase the productivity as well. So, in reality, just got to give it a little bit of time. I mean, yeah, it has no wood, so it does show you that we do need to get some more coming in more often. Is this a wood one? This is a wood one, but this has only got 180. Why has it only got 180 on? Oh, wait, it didn't actually upgrade the trains, did it? Because, obviously, I couldn't have done it because of my vehicles. It upgraded one, weirdly. Well, it upgraded one. Right, electric. It's this one we're going for. Cargo. So, if they were 180 before, I might put this to like 240. There we go. So, them trains are definitely a lot bigger and can now definitely go a lot faster. As well. So, it should be quite fun to see it all now come together. Okay, sweet. So, simple routes now updated. We'll take a look at maybe adding one or two extra lines on the machines run right now to grow these cities. And then we'll take a look at revamping some of these current routes that we currently got with some electric trains. And then maybe start planning out our route to Texas. Ooh, yes, boys, I like it. So, when it comes down to it then, we currently have the machines coming down to Pittsburgh, which then go all the way straight down to Savannah. Now, logic in me is going to want the machines to. I mean, how much is this now producing? Is this producing enough? I mean, is the steel coming in? Where's the steel's there? We've got to wait for that to keep producing more steel, don't we? Yeah. There is actually quite a lot of steel. So, yeah. The goods are coming into Savannah right now. Now, I won't get rid of this route because at this moment, right, it's giving this factory here the demand. So it's not until I get it feeding Detroit, maybe Chicago and Pittsburgh as well, or something like that, that we'll then take the line off once we've kind of kept up to that similar demand. Now, right now, Detroit, we need to also kind of connect it for the road. But we'll deliver the goods from here to Detroit via vehicle. So let me just first create a connection to get up and over. And we'll go for a 2-lane country road. That should be fine. So I want to connect to there, but I want to see if I can create a bridge of some sorts. I reckon I could, but it's going to have to come down pretty quick. So if I went there and then trying to go down as much as I can to kind of connect in. Okay, that works. I now have a bridge that connects over that one side, but obviously it makes sense to do it on the opposite side as well. So we are going to have to destroy a building or two. Right, how much can I bring that down? Right there. And then bring it straight over. Right, funky looking bridges, but just go with it, okay? Detroit is now connecting both sides. It's now connecting both sides. So we'll get this kind of coming down to here. And then we can pretty much have it wherever we wanted to. We'll only have one vehicle that does what we need it to do as well. So buildings, we just need a truck stop. And we'll flip it around to here. Place it in just there. And then we need an unload spot within Detroit. So the machines are pretty much all around this area here, which is good for me. Makes it a whole lot easier to place these down. Actually, before I do that, let me just add a little bit of more connectivity in, because I could put the truck stop here. It still covers all of that, but it'll be centralized for whatever industry then grows around this side. So that's a lot better for us. So if I'm there to there, nice and simple, we'll call it oh, hang on, all caps, machines. And this is Detroit, isn't it? So Detroit, bam. And we only really want one vehicle because I don't want to take it too many machines away from this, but enough to start feeding Detroit, because I've got great plans for Detroit in the future. Great plans. So road depot, and we'll go for the electric vehicle. You know, I'm all about the environment, guys, at this point. All about the environment. So machines Detroit, and that would do exactly what it needs to do. So we should eventually start seeing machines being produced here, or placed in here at least. There we go. Machines now being placed down. You can now see the box. So Detroit will slowly start to have a little bit of a product now being delivered. And yeah, they will be happy. Very happy. Which gives this another supplier or kind of customer in that sense, which will then hopefully level up the actual factory itself. Oh, that's just delivered a load more steel. Where's the next wood delivery coming in? Is this it here? Yes, it is. Yes, it is, boys. So how is this looking right now? Is he getting more wood coming in? It should do. It might be even a case of the fact that I need to maybe put a few more trains on, because if it runs out again shortly, it might be a case that each one of these needs a third train. But then again, that has just been devastated. This has still got quite a lot. Let me add a third train on this route. So manage vehicles. Alright, a third train at least on that one. I know there's a train heading back. And how devastated. I mean, do you know what? We'll throw a third train on it as well. There we go. Third train's on that route. It will then really up the supply and demands and all that. Okay, great stuff. So we've got machines now being distributed to Detroit. Perfect. But shall we take a look at maybe trying to get a third city connected to it? Now, Chicago is also going to be quite an important city for us as well. It will have its own food run eventually to provide it, and maybe distribute the food to other cities. So it makes sense that I bring the machines down here to it as well. Now, we already have a train that goes back and forth delivering the steel, which is this one here. It's our steel to Detroit run. Now, it would be a good idea if I can also pick up one or two machines and bring it back on the same run. But obviously, the vehicle itself is not set up, the carriages, for what I need them to be. So I'm going to edit right now. And you can only put machines on a boxcar. So it does have a capacity of 20. So I'm going to add one boxcar to it. And then modify. And then manage the line. So in Lower Chicago, when it loads the steel, it should also unload the machines. Because in Detroit, it unloads the steel and then loads 20 machines. Now, the great thing about this is, all of a sudden, we're now going to make a little bit of revenue as that train comes back the opposite way. It's not going to be a huge amount, but it's just enough for Chicago to feel like they're getting some imports coming in to grow the city. So now, on that steel run, we then have to wait for this to start producing the guts. And that's going to be quite exciting in reality, isn't it? Right, that's now got 12 machines on board. Yeah, we're starting to see a few more factories now appear in Detroit, so city's definitely growing. So with 12 machines, it won't make huge amounts of money, but it's running on a profit so far this year. This will now boost the profit up even more. There we go. So it'll be quite successful. I think adding in the bridges as well is going to really connect the city up a bit more too. So this can only work wonders for us, boys. Right, there's 5 steel on Detroit already. Where's this train? The train is just over here. Let's follow this train for just a moment. So he's got 45 steel on it. What's the finance on it anyway? So it barely kind of makes profit. Now that's got to be down to the fact that we're not getting as many goods. So the fact that this will make a few pennies on the way back would help out the profit situation. So this is now going to wait. So like I said, not huge amounts of cash. But we are starting to transform this area a whole lot more. So this now drops it off. How many machines does it pick up? Okay, 20. So it's got a full load. So we'll actually now fully see how much money it can make with every full delivery. It's quite exciting. You got to maximize your routes to make them as as profitable as you can. And this is just one of the many ways in which you can do it. It's not a lot of machines, but it's not too many to take away from the factory. But yeah, not bad. Not bad, boys. Not bad. So this is going to drop the goods in. And how much does it make with only 20? So 374,000. So if it makes that every time it's coming back, you can't argue. You honestly cannot argue. Not bad. Also, what engine's this? It's not electric. I'll tell you that for free. Oh wait, no. Is it diesel? It's a diesel train. Right, this is now going to become electric, which is a lot more expensive to now run, because this is 2.6 million a year. The diesel one was 1.8. Right. And what are these? Are these the old cargo ones? They are, the flatbeds. So we'll switch it out to electric. 120. It has a loading speed multiplier as well. So there we go. So not only will it be a lot quicker, but it will load a lot quicker as well. So that'll make some. I mean, it is going to be a lot more expensive to run and maintain, but there's less carriages, so maybe it'll balance itself out. Maybe it'll balance itself out. Who knows? Who knows? Right, glorious. So that's now leveling this up. And we are starting to see a little bit more wood now approaching and coming in. Great stuff. So all this little fine-tuning is perfect. We've now added 2 additional cities to this Ford GM plant. And again, I won't get rid of the Savannah route anytime soon just yet, because it's still keeping these demands super high. Where is it? There it is. Still keeping these demands super high. You might even go to level 4. You never know. You never know. Right, is this still okay over here then before we move on? Still needs a little bit more steel. We should still be producing crazy... Oh, now we need more ore. Now it's gone the opposite way. We need more ore. So the ore route to Chicago comes from all the way over to here, which, by the looks of it, has got lots of ore waiting for it. So in case I'm going to add 2 more trains to it. So duplicate. And that'll bring twice as much ore now coming in. And that should solve those issues. Right, sweet boys. Sweet, sweet, sweet. So that should now sort itself out. There's still a lot more configurations I've got to do around here, but we need to start planning out and thinking about our next expansion. So we are going to plan to do the Texas scenario in just a moment. But one thing I do want to look at is our passenger routes. Okay, I want to take a look at these because there might be the ability right now to set up some electric trains. So Boston to Charlotte. We go Boston, New York, Washington to Charlotte. By the looks of this route here, these 2 trains, let me check this line. Is it profitable is the question. Yes, highly profitable. It's not electric. It's not electric at all. And each train contains 133 passengers. So if I just pause the game, because I might need to upgrade some electric systems, edit the trains. So it's got an old diesel train on. So we're going to switch this over to electric right now, which I'm sticking with this one for the time being. Hang on, I actually don't want. I want to edit them, don't I? No, replace. That's what I want to do. Passenger. So they had a capacity of 133. You can actually go for the multiple unit ones. Which, how expensive are these? They also contain a carriage. But the capacity is 78. Loading speed 6. The Metro liner. I mean, and a passenger cargo thing. Ooh. Yeah, let's go for one of these. So it's a lot more expensive. All right, let me cancel all this. Metro liner add. Is that an engine as well? Engine type electric. It is, isn't it? Yeah. So passenger wise, add you on. That's now a capacity of 99. Add another one, and another one, and another one. Capacity of 162. It's a lot bigger. It's a lot longer. It's a lot longer, but it has a top speed of 124. If I replace both of them, but I can't do it because I've got no electric path. So let's just quickly upgrade this then. So tool. No, I'm on the road there. Electric. It's mainly probably the stations. So that there is the Charlotte route. Is that the only one I need to do? I think it is. I manage vehicles. Alright, replace you. Oh, 162. And I'm just going to assume, even though the electric's fine, high-speed rail is not. So that one random one there, which is not high-speed rail. And then we're just going to sort all of this real quick. So all this is only for the route from Boston to Charlotte right now, isn't it? Yeah. We still have the route that goes from then Charlotte all the way down to Miami. That will take a good upgrading right now. So I'm just getting everything all set up, ready for when we do expand to Texas, and then eventually Texas will hook up to the West Coast. So you'll have people wanting to utilize the train line going from coast to coast. And as long as we get everything all set up correctly, we should have then no issues with kind of expanding the demand. Right, we might as well get all of this done as well, because this will be the next train line that I'd need to upgrade. So this is all for high-speed rail. This is not yet for electric. I mean, some of it will be okay, but not all of it is going to be okay. Now, I know the trains that I've just placed down are a lot bigger than the demand I have, but it's all about trying to future-proof myself. I've got enough cash in the bank that if I make losses on some of these lines at this moment in time, it doesn't matter. It does not matter, because I ain't going to go bankrupt anytime soon. Also, I seen a comment the other day saying, Seniac, you should repay your loan back. I should, shouldn't I? I should repay the loan back that I got out. I think I can afford it now, guys. That's the only thing that kind of slightly annoys me about this game. How it doesn't naturally slowly pay your loan back. It's like loans are just interest only, aren't they? They're not repayment as well. Right, last little bit here. There we go, there we go. And then we got to do electric. So electric's all good there. All good here. All good there. All good. So this whole route right now is all electrified. Oh, this is amazing. Okay. Back in play mode. So that'll carry a lot more passengers, and they'll carry them a lot quicker. Boston to Charlotte. There's actually quite a few people waiting there, so maybe we will have the demands. That train's now, the loading speed is so slow. So this is the Charlotte to Miami route right now. I normally do it where a passenger train line only has 4 stops to complete the line, like 4 cities it goes to. Right, so this line itself then also has 2 vehicles. So replace these with electric, passenger, making sure this is 162 as well. So the loading speed in this is still 1. that gives us a ×6 though, so I don't know how that works in general. But that train, which is now just here, right, should be a whole lot faster. So let's watch this. I don't know if it's able to get up to its full speed in time. Well, it's doing 60 right now. Oh, wrong button. Okay, the distance wasn't long enough for it to kind of fully take advantage of its speed. So the loading speed's a little bit higher, but the only thing that kind of goes against us is the well, the station for one, and two, the carriages are times one as well, so it kind of reduces it slightly. But carries more passengers is the main thing. Faster and more passengers, which hopefully means more money. He says. He says. So that switches over more electric, which is absolutely amazing. So now it's a case of seeing what isn't electric at this point that we can maybe think about switching over. The Boston to Chicago. What is this train here? So I want it to all kind of match. Oh yeah, my other passenger line. Yeah. So manage vehicles. I'm gonna actually. How busy is this? We could actually probably do with 2 trains on this. In reality, makes good cash. So manage the vehicle. So what we'll do first is we'll replace it to the same style that we've currently got on the go, but we'll add a second one in. So pretty much, it's actually 3 less capacity. This one's going to be 3 less capacity. So replace it with that, and then duplicate it. So I've got a second one. So that then literally doubles the line. So that will be really, really handy for us. Right, okay, so that's glorious then. Because you can see in New York right now, they've actually got like a symbol here for a lot of passengers currently waiting. A lot of them are going to the Boston to Chicago route as well, and they're wanting to go to the Pittsburgh one. So I don't know where the train's going to come from on that route. Where is the train? So that one's over here. Okay, that one's just came from it. And there's a lot of people now waiting. What about the other route? The other train? Okay, that one's over here. So that one will probably go that one's going to go there first. So let this one come out. Multiple vehicles in bad condition. We are slowly going through and changing them all. So this will pick up a few peeps right now. 41. And then that will now head to New York, where it will be fully loaded. As it then progresses on the way to... I don't think it goes to Washington. No, it doesn't go to Washington. It goes straight to Pittsburgh, doesn't it? Yeah. So have a little wait there. Off it goes, boys. There's the other train. Wow, that is fast. That's getting back in record time right now. Right, let's go wait for the train to skadoodle by. Is there a train in there right now? Yes, there is. Gotta wait for that train to come out. And off. Oh, a new building in New York. Man, look at the skyscrapers in New York, by the way. So yeah, this will pick up a lot of people. There we go, there we go. All loaded up. And off it goes, boys. Oh, that other train behind me could have been for the other route. Yeah, I don't think it was that quick. So this is now skadoodling on the way. We have to wait behind this train just here as it's wanting to go through. I'm loving it. We've got all these signals and all these systems set up where everyone just waits their turn to pass on through. I mean, it can be a little bit of a backlog here and there, but you just got to wait for trains. You just got to wait for these trains to take their turns. You got to wait for these trains to then take their turns. So, we have a train. Wait, what is going on here? Oh, wait for the train to come out. There we go. We might have to think about as well doing like other alternative routes or bulking up this this line so we can completely tear through. Because this is becoming quite an important route right now, isn't it? Especially with the amount of trains that we've kind of got going on for the coal. It would be nice to have like some of these lines separate that the passenger lines don't have to interact with. That would be really, really handy. I just want to see this passenger train come through, by the way. I just want to see how much cash it makes by delivering all those passengers. So the issue is, it's the short route for the coal, which is kind of completely backing us up. But it's all these coal trains right now that we've got to sort out. Because that is that the passenger line there still waiting, or is it coming through now? No, it's still waiting over here. Right, it's taking its turn. But yeah, we've got to sort out some alternatives here, because this is a little bit too much for us. Yeah, this is a little bit too much for us right now. So that coal route comes in on this right-hand side here. So there's got to be a way in which I can utilize a additional line that runs in just to there to kind of completely bypass it. I won't do it just now because I'll end up being fixated on it and it'll cause a lot of issues. But it's only moments when the majority of them are going back and forth to that one. You know what? It might be a big enough problem right now that I do need to sort it out. Alright, in comes that coal one. Right, this is all I wanted to see is this passenger line. 1.6 million, nice. Do you know what? It didn't actually take off that many passengers as well. Right, so the issue we've got here then. So coming in, we've got one grey route here, this coal to Pittsburgh. Which, as you can see, it actually utilizes both stations. So this coal to Pittsburgh one, if I manage the line, it goes from Washington here to Pittsburgh, then it goes down to Charlotte, NC, which is down here. Which, what it does, it goes this way around. Alright, that's what it does. But when it's doing the route going back and forth here, you can see it comes in there and then goes back out, but the back and forth between all of this kind of slows us all down. That's interesting how it would... Is that right? How it goes down into here, but then it will go back out this way. That can't be right, can it? Wait, does it utilize that side? Hold on, where is it? Coal, Pittsburgh. Wait, what's that other route in there? Oh, is it passenger? No. There's a grey route here. Hold on, what is that? No, it is my Pittsburgh one. So it comes to Pittsburgh twice. Oh no, it doesn't go that way. Sorry guys, it doesn't go that way. There's me thinking it does. It doesn't. So we have a red route coming in, which is steel. Okay, we're going to switch this steel over. Also, what's the line I want it to be on? Right, okay, let me try something here. This is gonna go against everything that I've ever done in this game. This is truly gonna go against everything I've ever done in this game. If I build that to there, so that tears through as well, this connection here. Which we don't need it to kind of go through this. But we would require for it to kind of wait. And that's not a good idea to have that signal there as well. Right, so bringing this in like this. Now I'm going to pause because I'm going to have to drop a... No, actually I don't need to pause. I can do it now. So it's only going to be utilized to kind of go this way. Not to really come back. Signal there to wait. Ideally we would need to get rid of this one. Because the signal needs to be before and not cause crisscrossing issues for these guys there. So what's that train over there waiting for? Oh, the train up there. And the train there. Right, okay, so I pause. We'll delete you. Tracks. But I feel like I might need to get rid of that signal. So it will come back and forth in there, but that's not what I want it to do. I need it to switch in. So I still need that crisscross happening over here. Like that. But we set the signal up. So that merges into there. So the signal stays as it is. That's obviously that direction. I'll throw that one there. And then one. I'm going to do multiple. Like that. So then, what I needed to try and do is as it goes back out, and it comes into there, I kind of want it to go straight on. But how can I make it do that? I want it to go straight on and use this line. Not have it bend in. Could be the way. Right, pause. Right, delete you. Delete you. Hold on. Straight in. Obviously have this like there. Signal wise, it comes to there. That should be the route to then cut in, and it will come out whatever way it wants to come out. Yeah. So how do I get it to kind of prioritize one route over the other? I'm not too sure on that. I mean, you got waypoints to tend to go in certain directions. But there's no way to say, oh, hey, do this. One way. Yes, it's a one way. Like, I don't want it to kind of go down there to then go through this to kind of come back up. Don't seem right, does it, how it's choosing to go there? Because that's technically not the quicker route for them. I'm not missing a bit of train track anywhere, am I? I'd like to know what makes them choose to go to the left as opposed to sticking to the right where it's a shorter distance. I can't wrap my head around that one. I'm basically saying there's two train lines. The two train tracks go forward. Right, what I could do next. Oh, okay, I got an idea. Got an idea. Right, that coal route. Manage the line. Pause. So, this one. So, they're both on this side. There we go. Oh, I get it. It's because the bit that I wanted to stick on here, it was over there. Okay, I understand right now. So when they were picking from here to drop off over to here, it was on that platform, which made sense to be on the left-hand lane. Makes sense. Makes sense right now. makes sense. So if I made them all be on this station, the steel one in Boston, manage the line. So when it comes to Pittsburgh, go on number 1. Right, so I've now got a separate line for the coal coming from here, which should technically free up the vehicles flowing through. But it won't be for these 2 trains here who are both waiting for this one platform. So what I can do for this then is manage the line once more. So we put this one on that side. So they're not fighting for it, and it doesn't mean there's a train that's going to be backlogged there. Right, that's actually quite cool. I wouldn't say it's genius, but it just makes a little bit more sense for having this so short, where it was causing backlogged issues. That's the only thing I can really say about that. But we're also probably going to need another platform for the steel pickup. I can't. I mean, I could bring it into one of these, but then the passenger line's going to be waiting. It's a bit of a sticky sitch, boys. A bit of a sticky sitch, if you ask me. If it becomes too bad, we might have to reconfigure the Pittsburgh train station. But I reckon this will work. It's not major. It will do what I need it to do. And to be honest with you, it's not as backlogged anymore. I get it's a busy train station, but there's not going to be anything else I add to this, so that should be fine. That should be fine. Right. Enough jibber jabber. Let's take a look at what we want to do down here. So how it's going to work in the south right now is we're going to have Houston to technically be the end station for a bunch of current routes, okay? So we'll have a platform here in Houston, and we'll have one in New Orleans. Now, these 2 here are quite important. Now, the system that I'm setting up right now, I want to have my train lines have 4 stops at max, meaning they go to 4 cities. So, we'll have this a route from Charlotte that currently goes all the way down to Miami. 4 stops, beautiful. We're going to have another one, comes down split, like we were originally going to do at the start of the series. So 1 stop, Atlanta 2 stops, coming down to New Orleans 3 stops, into Houston 4 stops. So that run there. So that's a 4 run. Combine that then from a Miami route to St. Petersburg to Panama, which will end in New Orleans, unless I set it up where it starts in Tampa right now. So I can get Panama also connected as well. It'll probably stop in New Orleans, and then that extra route kind of goes the distance. But then also have a route that starts in Detroit that comes down to Nashville, which will come down to New Orleans in Houston. I might make this Miami one just go all the way to Houston as an extra 5th stop, because that's where, I mean, they're all going to crisscross in New Orleans anyway, but they can also terminate in Houston before it then goes in different directions. I'm only then really Houston to San Antonio into LA, 1 train connection at that point away from no longer needing the airplanes, which is quite sad. But I'm going to find a better way to kind of, utilize those airplanes a little bit more. So first things first then, we kind of need to implement the train stations here. Now we'll build the New Orleans one first. Now I know this big lake is there in real life, and they have a bridge that goes across. But for the sake of Transport Fever 2, I kind of need to get rid of it, because this is where I want my train station. So I'm going to use the flattening tool right now. And we're going to say hasta la vista baby to the lake. Right, because I need a solid connection to the city. Now, New Orleans, if you select it, how do I view the... If I go to buildings, place down, okay, you can kind of see right now. Industry's over there, residential's over here. So we're going to need to have a road set up which is going to give us decent access to the city. And I don't know if I did something like this, is it, or if I did it like that. If I did it like this, deleted you, that's my straight line in which I can create, connect the station. Now, I believe, is this the Mississippi River? I'm not 100% sure if it is. I'm British, guys. I don't know US geography that great. But we'll get a passenger. We're going to go for a nice sleek passenger station here. But also, we're going to incorporate some cargo on it as well. Don't forget that. Now, I might make this a little bit... Oh, do you know what? Thinking about it, guys. Actually, we need to connect more roads up. So that road straight into there. That road straight into here. To there. Thinking about it, I might have to make this quite a grand station with multiple platforms and legs. But I'm thinking it's gonna need a lot of platforms right now. So that's good connectivity. But at the same time, when we bring the oil in, I can bring it to Houston. That's not a problem, because the train station for that will be in the center. Probably a bit more. And we can utilize better connections there. Right, okay, so if I have this, I need to pick up a little bit of the industry area. So I'm going to go smack bang right there. Now, the train station I build here is probably going to set up the kind of the presence of future train stations and how I kind of want them to look. So how I build this then is that, hold on, is that even upgraded? Tools, not even high speed, not even high speed. All right, configure this. So we've got a passenger platform, right? We got a sweet little passenger platform right now. Okay, we are going to set up high-speed train tracks. So are any train stations going to terminate here? I mean, one might. It will terminate there. Do you know what I realise as well? The angle for that is not right. The angle for this is not right. Right, scrap all this. Right, if I build it, they will come. Alright, building. So that's the original angle. I kind of need it more like this. So if I built that like this here, then I'll build the road to it. There we go. And I'm going to delete this road here. Right, there's enough of... what is this? New Orleans, sorry. I forgot what the city was then. There's enough of New Orleans right now for it to kind of be okay as it rebuilds. There's enough going on here anyway. I'm not really destroying the city too much. So that train station now, which is technically a little bit closer, look how much more of the area it kind of services. That's great. Right, so configure. So this is what I was going to suggest doing. We're going to have a train that stops there. So all of a sudden right now, I've now kind of had end runs set up on this train station. We'll have a... We need cargo in as well. Let's not forget the cargo. But we're going to do that a little bit differently. We're going to do that a little bit differently. We'll have a... Oh, we didn't do high speed on that as well. So we'll have that coming in here, which we could have our cargo platform in the middle. Right. Now this is what we probably should have done in many of the other stations. So track-wise, so a cargo platform. We get the one on the inside. Now, we have our 4 lanes here, where this also gives us the bypassing station. Now, you could argue this is way over the top. But seeing how Pittsburgh is, Makes you kind of wonder if this is the way to go forward. But the answer is no, it's not. Okay, because we're not going to have this craziness going on here, but it could be quite a busy route. So we've got the platform there. We're going to add in another cargo platform for this side. So you can see I've got my bypassing route in the middle, like I've done on normal stations. And then I've got a route, a line either side for the cargo, double cargo, and then we're going to have quite a few passengers coming in. So you need to make sure that you've got enough platforms in for the passengers. So bam, bam, bam. Because we're going to have at least minimum of 3 lines coming through here anyway. So you might as well, you know, get enough lines coming in for it. So all of a sudden, I've got 2 lines that could be completely dead ends, dead stops where the route ends. So if I did run a line from Miami to St. Petersburg to Panama, which came into New Orleans, rather than utilize or go onto one of the lines that can go both ways, just stop here. That's all I need you to do. That's literally all I need you to do. Vice versa coming this way. I still have the stop here on this passenger line, which I've got to upgrade in just a moment. And then I've got 2 more as well, which is perfect. I've got 4, as you can now see, cargo lines. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 passenger if needs be, 4 cargo lines, and a bypassing route. It might look overkill, but we are seeing the issues. And we are aware of what's now happening in Pittsburgh. Not to this extent I need it, obviously, but you can see where you might need to kind of adjust slightly. It's a huge train station. Let's not beat around the bush. But as the demands are going to get a lot bigger, we're having 3 lines coming straight in minimum before the 4th lines go elsewhere. Because you got to remember, we've also got to connect Kansas and Oklahoma. So we're going to have lines coming out this way, going in that direction. Lines going this way, down in this direction. So Houston's going to be just as busy. Houston is going to be just as busy. Plus we got all this nearby as well. I don't know if we'll ever utilize this. Some cities do require why is this? Is it fuel? Yeah, require fuel. So that's going to be quite important as well. Now, when it comes to building, let me go to my tracks right. Oh, hang on, I need to upgrade, don't I? I'm all over the place. High speed, boom. So when it comes to connecting something like this up, it's actually it doesn't seem as bad as you think. We're gonna have to kind of slightly bend this up and get these all connected. So you kind of have to do it in stages in many ways. So if I run all 4 of these going up, we have this coming out to here, which this will then follow. And then this will then follow. I've only got 2 lines here, so we'll bring these in as well. So we'll then make this follow to the next set. That follow up. And then that follow up as well. And this follow up. This is going to merge in just here. So that moves to the next, where this will then merge in. It's quite long. You don't need to do it this long. Well, that will merge in. And then this will eventually come into here. That will come into there. Which this here doesn't need to be, like I said, as long as it needs to be like that. Because then we'll bring this in just there. And that in just there. And now you're on your 2 lines. So it's quite long, but when you've got vast amount of trains coming in and out, you're gonna need the space. Now the interesting bit here is we got to do it across a river. That's gonna be fun. So we'll get our first bridge in, which will go, oh, nice and glorious, suspensiony. Let's go nice, big and glorious. That feels about right. It's not high, nothing crazy going on. We'll get this going across to there. That matching it as well. It's going to be a sight for sore eyes. And then we need to do the same yet again. We've got to bring We're going to bring this in, which it gets quite difficult because you've got to try and merge it with. But it won't work like that. So for these, I don't know if it's worth changing the thing, or we have to kind of extend this a bit more to have said connection coming in. Okay, that's interesting. I mean, it works. It does work. So then if I have... I actually kind of like this. It's quite unique. It is quite unique. So we're pretty much up... Oh, no, we still got to bring these over. Right, okay, so I'll go from here to there, and then from here to there, from here just to there. So I won't do those ones as these tall bridges because then it starts to look a little bit crazy. Right, you run up to... Actually, no, you don't run up to there. So this here can run up to here. This to there. So there's 2, 4, 6, 8. That's going to merge in. And now we're back to normal. So we've got the 2 middle lines going up. There. Let me get these just right. So that in there. That in there. Or is that, does that one not want to play ball or something? That in there. That in there. And the last bit. And that will eventually go all the way in Skedoodle to Houston. So it's quite, you know, long-winded. We've got one more line on this side and that side, so you kind of have to compensate for it. And it does seem a little bit OTT and a little bit crazy. So the only thing we've got to do now is bring this a bit further down. Now this is all based on 2 train tracks. You know, we will adjust it as time goes on, I assume. But signal-wise, there, after all of the crisscrossing happening, which were probably just before the bridge, because that is our insider signals. No signals anywhere else needed. Alright, going through. And then we've just got to do the crisscross on this side. There we go. Now this, right, I can't stress enough how over the top this is. I can't stress enough how over the top that is. But seeing what's happening over here, knowing how busy this is going to be over here, it's what we need to do. It's only New Orleans and Houston that we're going to need to go to this level, okay? Because they are going to be so busy, but this is going to be such a major hub. The bridges look kind of crazy as well. Oh my goodness me. What are we doing, guys? What are we doing? But like I said, bypassing route is there. Multiple platforms so we can distribute the trains. Because the issue we've got in Pittsburgh is there's so many trains coming in using the limited amount of stations that we have. So one train is waiting until one's left before it can pull in. You know, you can see the amount of lines we've got coming in right now. But New Orleans, we can distribute that a lot evenly. So when a train comes in, it hasn't got to wait too long for the other trains to kind of skedoodle out. You know what I mean? Fingers crossed anyway. Fingers crossed, he says, boys. Fingers crossed. But, yeah. It should be pretty interesting to see how it unravels. It should be pretty interesting to see how it unravels. I don't think the city needs to grow on the other side. Actually, do you know what? It probably will do. We'll add one last few configurations to it. Passenger building. Okay, we don't want to go that big. Oh wait, hold on. That's a line, isn't it? I forgot about that. Okay, this is interesting now because I've ended it as it is. I could add, so that is there. So you would normally have, I see what I've done. Oh, I see what I've done. Configure. I see what I've done, guys. Hold on. Which is, it's honest with you, it's not actually a bad thing that what I've done. Because we're going to get one passenger line there. Do you know what? No, forget that. Because I'm limiting my passenger lines now. What I'll do is, track-wise, we'll add an extra one to get an extra set of platforms. Way over the top right now. It's completely overkill. Completely overkill, but it's going to be good. Right, so train tracks. So as that comes out, we'll get it to merge. Then just here. Damn. So we'll get to here. It's only replicating the opposite side. That's all it's doing. So now we're even with train tracks on both sides. This station's overkill. But it's going to be so good. I can see the amount of connections we're going to get to it. Make it worth its while as well. Getting a harbour set up for it maybe at some point. Getting some an airport set up to it as well. Oh, this could change the world. This station. So breaking it down yet again. When it comes to cargo, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 stations you could use for it. This one here technically would share a platform with the passenger. But when it comes to passenger, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sharing, but you've also got 5 for an end run, 6 for an end run, and I could, if I wanted to, add another set of end runs as well. You're never going to have that many, but it's always nice to kind of, cover all bases in all eventualities. And then we'll apply something very similar to Houston. Now, Houston one, we are going to kind of maybe make it run on this road here and try and make it a little bit more centralized because this is going to be a busy place as well. And it's going to be the only city that we've worked with at this moment in time that doesn't want machines and food. It just wants food, and this time it wants fuel as well. So that gears us up to using some ships to bring the oil from the Gulf over here all the way in. This is going to be interesting. Now, you'll have to kind of trust the process on this station, guys, okay? Because what I have planned is going to be astronomical. We're going to have 3 routes from this side alone dividing straight in. Let alone how we then split the routes coming from here. It could be that Houston's just a normal station and that we've used New Orleans to be the kind of the big boy. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll truly see how it goes. Guys, we're going to end it for here right now. I hope you do enjoy this episode. If you did, smash the like button down below. But until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.